Hello, I am Associate Professor Abdullah Dahir Ahmed, and I am the head of Department for Financial Planning and Tax in the School of Accounting, Information System and Supply Chain here at RMIT University. I would like to welcome you to the session today, where Orhan will tell you a bit more about the financial planning and accounting majors as part of the Bachelor of Business program. These programs are well renowned and allow students to work across a variety of disciplines to replicate real-world experiences they will need once they start their career. Next slide, please. Before I start, RMIT University acknowledges the people of Wirung and Boirung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations, on whose unceded land we conduct the business of the university today. RMIT University respectfully acknowledges the ancestors and elders, past and present. RMIT also acknowledges the traditional custodians and the ancestors of the lands and waters across Australia where we conduct our business. RMIT is committed to redefining its relationship in working and supporting Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander self-determination. The university's goal is to achieve lasting transformation by maturing its values, culture, policy, and structures in a way that embeds reconciliation in everything we do. In line with the principle of Bunjil, we are changing our ways of knowing, working, and being to support sustainable reconciliation and achieve a relationship between Indigenous and non-Indigenous staff, students, and community. I'll now like to welcome Orhan Aziziglu, the current program manager of the financial planning programs, who will share more about the financial planning and accounting majors. Dr. Lan Nguyen, who is an accounting program major, is in the chat and available to answer any questions related to the major. Throughout the presentation, please place your questions in the chat for the Q&A after the presentation. Thank you, Orhan.
Thank you, Ahmed, for the introduction, and hello everyone. Thanks for making time to meet us today to introduce you important and popular two majors in our new Bachelor of Business degree, and namely Accounting and Financial Planning. Bachelor of Business is offered to give students the option to decide how you want to study and what you want to study to maximize your choices with total flexibility. There will be a suite of majors and minors to specialize in your chosen fields or broaden your knowledge across the range of fields. I will now play you a short video introducing our new Bachelor of Business degree. Okay, let's start talking about the program structure first. In your first year, all students will complete 4 business foundation subjects to give you the foundation that you need to succeed in your chosen business career path. And after that, the direction you take is in your hands as you choose which major or majors you want to undertake, or no majors at all. In your final year, again, all students will undertake the compulsory Capstone experience subjects. And there is also the option for Bachelor of Business Professional Practice, which you do in 4 years because of including additional professional practice year in your final year. Next slide, please. As you can see on this slide, what the program structure will look like for all students. So in the first semester, all students will do the same 4 subjects, the foundation subjects, and before they graduate, they will do the same capstone subject. And in between, you are able to choose up to 2 majors, or you can choose 1 major and 2 minors, so that it's very flexible program. Next slide, please. So first, I will start talking about the accounting major. At RMIT, the accounting major is designed to prepare students with the professional knowledge and the skill set required for a successful career in accounting roles across the commercial and public sector. This includes the technical skills to do accounting and also understanding of how accounting affects individual organizations and society. This is a rigorous and stimulating accounting major designed to produce work-ready graduates with the tools to make the key business decisions and an understanding of how taxation, macroeconomics, and market principles intersect with accountancy. Next slide, please. So here there are many options, but here we have chosen the most commonly taken options for the students, where there is a single major and one minor. The major is the accountancy major, and the minor we picked here as an example is the regulatory accounting minor. So this is only one example from what you could have chosen, but with this one, if you were to complete these two options, so accountancy major and the regulatory accounting minor, once you graduate, you will be able to combine the specifically requirements for the accreditation with the certified practicing accountant, known as the CPA Australia, as well as the chartered accountants Australia and New Zealand, known as CAANZ. So by just doing one major and the regulatory accounting minor, you will get that accreditation automatically. Next slide, please. So if we also look at the financial planning major, which I'm the program manager and also course coordinator for the Capstone units, financial planning is concerned with the wealth management, financial planning, providing advice about managing money, investment assets and investment strategies for individuals, trusts and companies. At RMIT, the financial planning major is designed to prepare you with the expertise to provide professional financial advice in a range of areas, including personal financial planning, as well as taxation, estate planning, superannuation, insurance, and investment planning. As a financial planning professional, you will be able to take on roles in financial planning, stockbroking, funds management, insurance and risk, superannuation, or work in a private sector or government organizations that have a requirement for high level and technical expertise in financial planning. Next slide, please. Now let's have a look at the financial planning major that you can choose from. So this example that we are showing you includes financial planning major and also financial planning and tax minor. So within this program, again, once you complete the required subjects along with the electives that you can choose from 7 electives, as you see on the slide, you will receive an accreditation from the Financial Advisor Standards and Ethics Authority, which is known as FESIA, and that will allow you to be able to join financial planning practices and start working as a financial planner. Next slide, please. So this one, I would like to take your attention and focus here. There's another option that you can choose, which is taking 2 majors at the same time, accountancy as well as the financial planning. And in this option, you see we have given you the 2 majors, accountancy and financial planning, as well as a regulatory accounting minor, where it used to be a 4-year program to do these 2 majors. But now, under new Bachelor of Business degree, you will be able to do these both majors and finish it in 3 years' time. So that's a huge advantage for our new students. You will be able to do 2 majors in financial planning and accounting, which complement each other, and you don't have to study for 4 years. You can actually complete this in 3 years. And I believe this is the only offering in Australia where you can do these 2 majors in 3 years' time and get accreditation both for accounting through CPA or CA, as well as the FESIA accreditation for financial planning. So once you graduate, you will have the two well-recognized accreditations, and it will only take you 3 years to complete. Next slide, please. If we look at the entry requirements, as I mentioned before, there's a 3-year program Bachelor of Business, and then there's a 4-year program Bachelor of Business Professional Practice, which includes 1 year of professional placement in your final year. Here you can see the requirements. As these two degrees are new, there are no published ATARs from last year. However, this year, for the first time, RMIT University is offering guaranteed placements. And to be able to receive a guaranteed placement on Bachelor of Business degree, you need to achieve 70 ATAR score or above. And for the Bachelor of Business Professional Practice, to receive a guaranteed placement, you need to achieve ATAR score of 80 or above. And then you will be able to get placed in those degrees. In addition, we also have pathways into our programs following the completion of a diploma or advanced diploma. If you have any specific admission queries, please do post them in the Q&A section, and our team of admissions experts are on hand to answer them. Next slide, please. So if we look at a close look at the pathways, if you do not meet those required ATAR scores, please do not worry. We also offer guaranteed pathways into Bachelor of Business programs through a number of vocational education programs, as you see on this slide. You can either do Diploma of Business or you can do Associate Degree in Business. That will give you automatic entrance to our Bachelor of Business degrees. Next slide, please. Okay, so industry connections, this is where RMIT also differentiates itself from other universities, that we are very well connected with the industries, and our location being in the city also gives us advantage to work with them and organize activities together. There are a range of opportunities for industry connections, both within courses and co-curricular activities throughout your studies at RMIT. You can see here are some examples. You can work on industry projects with real clients. You can take part in local and overseas work placements, paid or maybe unpaid. You can enter project competitions judged by leading industry experts. And finally, you can also receive mentoring by the industry professionals. Next slide, please. So here are some of our industry partners, where we also have an industry advisory board, and most of these big multinational firms have executives that's participating them in our industry advisory board. Some of the names for accounting and financial planning, and if you do the two majors at the same time, then all these firms will be open to you once you graduate. So you see consulting firms such as Ernst & Young, KPMG, PwC, and some financial planning firms, IOOF. And we also have industry body FPA, representing financial planning, as well as many other firms. Amongst there's also, you see a name called Striver. Striver is the recruitment agency specialized in putting our students into placements even before they graduate, to be able to get part-time or casual jobs, as well as in after graduation having a full-time career in financial planning or accounting. Next slide, please. Okay, I want to talk about a little bit about the industry projects. In the Bachelor of Business program, students will concentrate on solving real industry problems to build your portfolio of achievements and experience. You will be able to gain valuable experiences before entering the workforce through our Capstone experience subject and the professional practice year if you're doing the 4-year course. And the graduates will also be working with the highly sought after skills They will gain highly sought after skills and knowledge to think innovatively across disciplines and rewrite what's next. The next slide will focus on what our students have engaged in industry, specifically in accounting and financial planning majors. So if we look at first industry projects related to accounting major, there are 3 examples that we have on the slides. The first one is where Accounting Business Design Project 2, where our students recently worked with Tennis Canada to investigate whether providing free ground passes to its major tournament would provide additional revenue and attendance to the tournament. In another project, undergraduate accounting programs, our students had an opportunity to connect with the industry speakers from different types of organizations, profit or not-for-profit, and Big Four consulting firms, to hear them share their experience in the real-life working environment and the expectation from the employer perspective to potential employees. And the final project I'll talk about is in financial accountability and reporting, where students have an opportunity to reflect and apply the information from industry speakers to the accounting standards that they have studied. The reflection regarding how the accounting standards work from a practical point of view, and also how the contemporary technology impacts employment opportunities in the future. Next slide, please. So here now we'll talk about some of the financial planning industry projects. The first one, we have our annual event called Future of Financial Planning, where students meet with industry leaders and the professional body representatives, as well as the recruitment agencies, to find out about how the industry is going ahead with the future graduates. And then you also have a chance through the Capstone Unit Financial Advisory Practice, which is the one that I actually deliver and coordinate. You have work integrated activities in that subject. Students, for example, present their major assignment, which they're preparing a statement of advice, to active financial advisors in your suburb, and you receive feedback. And students also given free access to industry leader X-Plan financial planning platform to gain job-ready skills. And one final industry project is called AMP University Challenge, where students can participate in industry-based financial planning competition as an alternative to their major assignments. And students have this opportunity to be shortlisted to meet the industry leaders, to present their statement of advice and potentially win prizes, and maybe also get a job at the end and start your career really early. In regards to global opportunities, as you see on the slide again, depending on the COVID restrictions, I guess, RMIT has partnership with over 200 universities around the world. You will be able to do a semester or 2 overseas. Next slide, please. And in relation to career outcomes, if you're just doing accounting major, the areas that you may get jobs are public accounting practices, management accounting areas, auditing, treasury, and financial reporting. If you only do financial planning major, then the areas that you can work in are investment advisory, obviously financial planning, fund management areas, wealth management officer, risk analyst, superannuation specialist, or financial analyst. And if you do the 2 majors at the same time, then all the career opportunities are open for you, and you will be able to actually apply into everything listed on this slide. So you can double your career chance opportunities by doing the 2 majors at the same time. So in this slide, we have an alumni profile where we have a testimony from Ivy Kyoko, who studied at accounting degree with RMIT University. And she is now a forensic consultant at KPMG. And if we hear from her, this is her testimony. RMIT provided a broad range of electives and core subjects that gave me an insight into different areas of accounting. And after hearing a guest lecture from KPMG speak, I decided that that was where I wanted to end up. And I did some research and decided that I wanted to work in forensic accounting. I then enrolled into forensic business investigation elective subject, which all of you guys can also do the same. And I'm happy to say that my studies at RMIT have led me to my dream job and my dream firm immediately after finishing my degree. So she is successfully recruited by KPMG and doing the job that she wanted to do. So that's a great feedback. Next slide, please. Another important announcement for our future students who wants to do financial planning or accounting major. There is a scholarship that you guys will be eligible if you meet the criteria. This is for specifically female students, and it's called Women in Finance and Economics Scholarship. Next slide, please. So the scholarship will be available to students who are going to be enrolled to financial planning or accounting majors in 2022. So for all you students, that's open for you. And the amount of scholarship will vary between $10,000 to $14,500 against your tuition fees. Who is eligible to apply? You need to be identifying yourself as a female. You need to be an Australian citizen or permanent resident or a permanent humanitarian visa holder. And you need to be enrolling into financial planning or accounting majors in our new Bachelor of Business degree starting 2022. And you need to be able to demonstrate a disadvantage. Next slide, please. So what are the examples of disadvantages? If you are receiving any government tested low income benefit, or if you have a Centrelink healthcare card, that's an example. If you are relocating from interstate, or if you live in a regional Victoria area, that's an example of a disadvantage. If you were born overseas and are from a non-English speaking background and recently migrated to Australia, that could be considered as a disadvantage. Or if you are a current or former refugee. For the full eligibility criteria, please visit the website that's allocated for Women in Finance and Economics Scholarship under RMIT University's websites. And I think on the chat room, you will be able to see the link. Next slide, please. And believe it or not, the applications are already open. So before even you get into those majors that you would like to get in, you can apply in advance, and the applications will close on the 10th of October. So please do not forget to apply if you're meeting any of those criteria. It will give you a great advantage to pay off your tuition fees. You can complete your application online, and that's available on our website under the Women in Finance and Economics Scholarship webpage. Next slide, please. So if we look at important dates for the higher education, so you guys, if you enroll to one of our Bachelor of Business degrees, the first semester will start on the 28th of February, and hopefully it will be face-to-face. By then, we will all be vaccinated, hopefully, and the gates will be open for our students. Next slide, please. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, please put on the chat area, and we will be answering them going forward. So Ahmed, back to you.
Thank you for providing a comprehensive overview of accounting and financial planning majors, Ohan. And to all for taking the time to learn about our globally recognized programs. For more information on these programs, be sure to check the program information available on the RMIT website. Thank you, everyone, and see you again in the chat room.
So if you have any questions, please go ahead and type on the chat room, and we're happy to answer. So I think there was one question which says what sort of career options are available for the double major. So if you're doing both accounting and financial planning majors, as I mentioned before, that's a very attractive offering because you can finish it in 3 years' time, which used to be 4 years. And it was still unique to RMIT, offering those double degrees which are complementary. Then you will be able to work in both accounting areas or financial planning areas because they are complementary. You can work at any banks, any superannuation company, any financial planning company, any consulting firm. It opens up majority of the careers available for the graduates. And having the both degrees with the accreditations from CPA as well as FESIA, that will open a lot of doors and give you a competitive advantage against other students.
All right, and then there's another question which says, what is the student life like at the RMIT and in the majors? Well, look, we have a lot of facilities at the RMIT University, both for the purpose of teaching and for extracurricular activities. RMIT is very lucky in the sense of being in the main city, where you have a lot of avenues to interact, both with professionals and academic members. Our students have opportunity to join various student membership. For example, we have accounting membership, accounting association, accounting student association. We have financial planning student association, and many other student associations for the purpose of encouraging students to interact and network with the rest of colleagues, both at the peer level and at an academic level. Now, in terms of the majors, we have a lot of extra support. For example, we have sessions which are targeted for industry links and industry networks. We have in-lecture industry experts who actually come and visit our lectures and provide support in terms of experiences in the industry. And so generally our students learn both real-world experiences and interact with academics and industry professionals to actually learn more about real-world industry needs and industry knowledge that you will require once you join the industry. So hopefully, if you read a bit more about our brochure and information on financial planning, you'll find a lot of support in terms of students who are in our major. And we are actually supporting interdiscipline learning because of our double major. The fact that you're not going to be focusing on one particular major, that also gives you extra leverage in terms of learning additional education that you may need for the purpose of real world experience. There is another question which says contact hours and 54 self-learn hours expected per course. Generally, yes, generally we have, generally in terms of our learning coverage, we have 36 contact hours and 54 self-learn hours expected per course, which gives you actually enough room to learn both in class and extra learning support, which you require for the purpose of making sure that you cover every single aspect of your learning requirement for the purpose of being job ready in the future. So I hope I've answered that question. Ohan, do you have anything to add on that?
Yes, so in general, students take 4 courses per semester, and for each course there is 2-hour lecture and 1-hour tutorial. So that makes up to 3 hours per week. And there are 12 weeks of teaching, so that adds up to 36 hours. And we hope that our students also spend about 54 hours of their own time on top to be successful for each course.
Well, do you want to mention something about Capstone experience? I'm going to mention something about RMIT Accounting Student Association as well, but do you want to mention something about Capstone experience, Ohan, before I mention this?
Sure, yes. So with regards to the Capstone unit, that it's actually I'm the coordinator. You will be able to look at real life case scenarios and prepare a financial plan recommendations. And you will be interacting with an actual active financial planner to present and receive a feedback. And we are providing you guys to be able to use industry-wide used software, which is called X-Plan. That will give you a very competitive advantage having that skill, because all financial planning firms use the same software to prepare plans. So you will be able to learn and apply using the real-life case studies and interact with the actual financial advisors and receive feedback. And in the past, we had instances where students actually got their first job through those interactions.
Thank you, Johan. Look, let me mention here that we have very vibrant RMIT Accounting Student Association, which is very good to be involved in. And we encourage all our students to actually be involved in the Accounting Association, because that's the forum where you learn more about accounting, you learn more about professional experience, and you learn more about industry, or you can make more about industry networks. They actually run many events each semester. Students make friends, they connect with peers, they connect with industry experts, and they actually build a lot of network. And they are open. They are open events to both accounting and financial planning students. And so please make sure you read a bit more about that, and you actually join our Accounting Student Association whenever possible. We encourage our students to actually join that as soon as possible.
So as Ahmet mentioned, whether you're doing just financial planning major or accounting, you can join to RMIT ASA, RASA we call it. So it doesn't matter which major you're doing, and you are more than welcome to become a member and in the future maybe lead the students group there.
Johan, do you want to mention something about the AMP challenge, which is actually conducted every semester?
Yes, so that's one of our industry engagement projects. So I allow students to be able to participate in the AMP University Challenge as part of their assignment, major assignments, worth 50% of their marks. And that's open to nationally all financial planning students. So you're competing against all other financial planning students in Australia. And if you are shortlisted, if you finish up at top 5, you are invited by them to do a presentation to industry participants, and you may win a prize, as well as have networking opportunity for your future career possibilities.
Very good. And then we also have the Future of Financial Planning webinar or event that we run every single semester. And in the past, I remember that we have had a lot of students who are able to get actually jobs in those kind of platforms because of the networking and because of the number of industry participants that we bring together. So maybe talk a bit more on that and the opportunities that is available to students in terms of being able to network and actually get a job in those kind of sessions.
Yeah, so our plan is conducting those face-to-face. Used to be face-to-face, but this year had to be done online. We actually invite industry participants, where the recruitment agency, as well as a financial planning firm, and also someone from industry body such as FPA. They actually inform students about how the industry is going, what are the job opportunities, and where it is heading, what are the new requirements, new changes and expectations by the employers. And also the recruitment agency who participates gives you a chance to register with them, and they start actively looking for jobs for you even before you graduate. And that has been very successful so far. Accounting is also running similar events along with the Big Four consulting firms and also not-for-profit organizations, as well as profit organizations, which they talk about the current trends and employability, and that also helps obviously our students to interact with the industry networks. So if we have no further questions, as you see on this slide, if you have other questions later on after today, please visit rmit.edu.au/study-with-us link, and you will be able to ask your questions there. And hopefully we'll see you guys next year.
All right. Should we wait for a couple of more questions or?